Today, I will take you through a 30-minute yoga flow to boost mood. This flow class will take you through stretching and strengthening, all while improving blood flow, resulting in you feeling happier and healthier. Let's begin. Kia ora and welcome to Asana with Jess. Today we will start with our knees bent and our hands on our thighs, gazing down and taking some nourishing breaths deep into the diaphragm and exhaling, letting it all go. Take a moment here, flowing through some deep breaths, cleansing the mind and resetting your body, ready for an uplifting yoga practice. When you are ready to begin, come onto your hands and knees, taking the knees as wide as the mat and toes together, sinking the hips back and bringing the hands forward on your mat, resting your forehead on the ground for our child's pose. With every exhale, sink that back a little bit flatter towards the mat and extending your arms out as far as you can reach, but keeping your hips grounded. For a deeper stretch, you can bring your hands up onto your fingertips, pressing into the mat. This deepens the stretch across the back of the arms. Letting any of your worries for the day float away, bringing you peacefulness during your practice. One more breath here. Slowly begin to walk your hands in towards your body, coming up onto all fours once more. Making sure your knees are hip width apart and your hands are shoulder width apart. Coming down onto your elbows and taking some cat and cow motions on your elbows, just targeting that upper back. Inhaling, sinking the chest down. Exhaling, arching the back and tucking the chin into the chest. Inhaling, dipping the spine, looking forward. Exhaling, arching the back, looking down, repeating this in your own time. Feeling the increased mobility in the upper back between the shoulder blades, flowing it out, synchronized to every breath. And taking one more here. Keeping your elbows in place, extend your legs out behind you. Gazing up towards the ceiling, feeling the arch in the spine, decompressing it with our Cobra pose. And slowly release your chest to the mat, pressing your hands on the ground, lifting the chest up for our upward facing dog. And pushing the hips to the sky, untucking the toes for downward dog. Pedaling the feet out if you need. This is our first downward dog of today's practice. And pressing your heels towards the mat. Remembering you can bend your knees a little bit, and it's most important to keep a straight back with the hips in the sky. Feeling the deep stretch along your hamstrings and down your back. Introducing some movement now, wave-like motions. Start by waving your chest forward, coming into plank, and bending at the knees, pushing back into downward dog. Keep on flowing through to plank. Bending at the knees and pushing up into downward dog, curving the spine through to plank and back to downward dog, making a swift wave-like motion with your body. Doing this at your own pace, flowing through the movements. Taking one more here, and pressing the heels back down for our downward dog. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift the right foot up into three-legged dog. Keeping a straight left leg, pointing the right toes, and keeping your hips squared with the mat. Now bend the right knee, opening the hips up, and place that right foot on the ground behind you, lifting the left arm over your head for our wild thing. Balancing on that left foot and looking towards that upper hand. And bringing it back, coming into our three-legged dog, bent at the knee. And swoop the foot down, coming back into downward dog. Pedaling the feet to reset, inhaling, and on the exhale this time lift the left foot into the sky for three-legged dog. Breathing into this pose, stretching the legs. Trying to keep your hips square with the mat, not turning the hips outwards. And bending at the knee, opening the hips up and placing that left foot on the mat, bringing the left arm over the head this time for our wild thing. Balancing on that right foot, looking towards that upper hand, and place both hands back on the mat, coming into our three-legged dog and lowering that foot to the mat, downward dog. Slowly take 4 to 6 small steps towards your hands, coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Take a moment here in your ragdoll position, letting your arms loose, introducing some movement from side to side, decompressing the spine. And return to center. Press the fingertips into the mat and bend the right knee, keeping the left leg straight. Forward fold with one leg bent. This targets the left hamstrings that little bit more. Taking care to bend from the hips, not from the back. Pressing your weight towards your toes will help. And release when you are ready. Taking a moment here to let your hands hang loose and rocking from side to side. Resetting the body, ready to do the same pose on the other side. Returning to center, and this time bending the left knee, keeping the right knee straight and folding towards that left leg. Inhaling deeply for one last breath, and coming out of this pose by straightening both legs and holding onto opposite elbows. Taking some rocks from side to side, bending the knees if this is easier. Releasing your hands, inhaling for halfway lift, exhale and fold, bending at the knees, bringing the hands into the sky and drawing them down to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Breathing in to reset and exhaling, ready for the next pose, gazing at a spot on the floor to improve your balance. Lifting the right foot off the mat, bending at the knee, wrapping it in front of the left thigh and hooking your foot behind your left ankle. Doing the same with your arms, taking the right arm underneath the left arm and twisting around until your hands meet. Focus on pulling your elbows out and up, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, and try bending at both knees for improved balance. Unravel your arms and legs when you are ready. Take some big shoulder rolls to reset. Lift the left leg, this time bending it in front of your right thigh and tucking that foot behind the right ankle. Doing the same with the arms, taking the left arm underneath the right arm, twisting around each other until your hands meet. Release your legs and your arms and take some big shoulder rolls. Bringing the hands to heart center, lifting them into the sky and taking a baby back bend. Hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bending at the knees, stepping the right foot back, followed by the left foot plank, taking a chaturanga. Upward facing dog, and pushing the hips to the sky, untucking the toes for downward dog. Lower your knees to the mat, keeping them hip width apart and untucking the toes. Coming up onto your knees, bringing your hands to the back of the hips, placing them at your lower back, fingertips pointing down, and start to bend back, opening up the sternum. You can stay here, or you can start to move one arm down to the foot, and then the other arm, one at a time, just seeing what that feels like. And if you want to go all the way, you can reach both hands down to the feet, lifting up through the sternum and tucking the tailbone towards the hips, keeping your head facing towards the ceiling or tipping it all the way back. This is our Camel Pose or Ustrasana, a big deep heart opener. When you are ready to come out of this pose, slowly release your hands from your feet, working your way up to a straight spine before then tipping your head forward slowly and coming into a child's pose, our lovely counter pose. Slowly make your way up into a tabletop position. Come down onto your right hip and bring your right arm out directly in line with the shoulder. Bringing your hands into the cactus shape, so bending at the elbow here. Using your left arm to prop you up, bending both knees and bringing your left knee up so the foot is placed behind the right knee. Broken wing pose. This opens up the pectoral and bicep muscles. Feeling the deep stretch from this chest opener. Deeply sending breath to these tight areas. Slowly make your way out of this pose, coming back into our tabletop position, and this time placing the left hip on the mat, bringing the left arm out directly in line with the shoulder, bending at the elbow, forming cactus hands, and bending both knees, lifting the right knee and placing that right foot behind the left knee, using your right hand just to prop you up, for our broken wing pose on the other side. When you are ready, slowly make your way out of this pose. Lowering onto your back in your own time. Bringing your arms out in the cactus position and tucking the knees into the chest, letting them fall to the right side and turning your gaze towards the left hand. For our supine spinal twist, drawing a deep breath in, inhaling, and on the exhale, lift the knees into the center and tilt them towards the left this time, turning to gaze over towards your right hand. Once again, inhaling, drawing a deep breath into the diaphragm, and on the exhale, pulling the knees back into the center, and slowly release them to the mat for our Savasana, the last pose of today's practice. Tense your body, tensing your legs, your arms, your shoulders, your face. Tense it and then release, sinking into the mat, letting all that stress and tension go. Starting to breathe deeper through the diaphragm, inhaling through the chest, the ribs, and the belly. Feeling that belly rise and fall with each inhalation and exhalation. Tuning in to your body, connecting with your physical self, and feeling where you might be holding tension or stress. Send your breath towards these areas. Taking a moment to feel gratitude towards your body, your inner being, and anything else in your life that you are grateful for. Relaxing your body and sinking deeper into the mat with every exhale. You are welcome to stay here as long as you need, but if you are ready, stretch your arms above your head and start to draw some deeper breaths in, tucking the knees into the chest, opening the eyes and rolling over into our fetal position. Taking a moment here before pushing yourself up and coming into a cross-legged position in the middle of your mat. intertwining your fingers and stretching your arms above your head, either looking down or up towards your hands for one final stretch. Bring the hands down to heart center and say some affirmations to yourself, repeating after me. I vibrate with happiness and positivity. I'm grateful for the wonderful things in my life. I accept and love myself exactly as I am right now. Sending you love and light. Namaste.